Great, now we have all these cubes in the scene, but they look a little bit plain. Just one color, some lighting, potentially some shadows. And you can see that shadow is being cast on both the plane and the cube. But I think we can make it a little bit more interesting. Now, Unity has a really good pipeline for working with images and art assets. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to show you how to import an image that you've created or you've found from the internet or somewhere else, and you can use that image on your object. So all you need to do is find your image file and you drag it into the project folder, the project panel, or the project tab. Now that's the image. When you click on it, you can see a preview here. And let's say I want to add this image to this cube here. All I need to do is drag this image and place it on top of that cube. You see now this cube has that image. Let's rotate it. You also notice that Unity has created this folder called Materials. So for an image to show up on an object, the object needs to have a material. So let's come back to this cube. Unlike the other cubes, it's got an additional component here. And if you click on this arrow next to material, you'll see that it's got this material called My First Game. If you click on it, so inside this materials folder, now there's a new material called My First Game, and it's the same name as the image. So this is a material that Unity has generated for you. And inside this material is the image that you have imported. So think of it as a piece of clothing, right? So this cube was naked before, and the material is this piece of cloth that you put on the cube. So we put the material on the cube, and now the image is the texture on the cloth. It's the texture that we use in the material. So you have the cube here, and you have the material, and then you have the texture, the image here. And the nice thing about this is you can have different settings on the materials and then different settings on the texture, so you can change to a different image if you are, let's say if you're in the game and then you want to change the material to say something different. Let's say if this is a button and then you want it to show a different icon, you can switch the texture easily. And on the material level, this is where you can set tiling. Let's say if we want to do a 2x2 or smaller 5x5. And also you can change the material color, and that would change sort of like the base for the texture. You can also change the way the material is used in the game, and we won't get into this too much. It's quite complicated, but just remember that you have objects, you have materials. So now I can drag this material. As you can see, I can put it on different objects. So they're all, and now this one also has the same material, And what do we have on this material? We have this texture image that we imported.